His record's 7-10-1, so he's down at 158. He's finally at a weight where he can be most competitive.
That's right. When you're a freshman, you got to kind of fit in where you can, and it took him quite a while to shed those pounds off.
He's too small of a wrestler to be wrestling at 177 pounds. His frame's not that big.
Exactly.
He's got a lot of muscle, but he just doesn't have the big enough frame.
Okay, so now we see Lentz has got what's called a front headlock in there, and that's a real tight move. That can create a lot of pressure there on the neck, and you'll see him taking Duncanson down there to the mat anyway. Looking for the takedown.
Jeff, also a member of the football squad, just a freshman again. He weighed 190 pounds in football.
So that means he shed 32 pounds to be out there for Baxter's Beavers today. And now, okay, there we saw what was actually from a bear hug position. And I don't think Duncanson's too wise to lock up with this guy, because you saw what he can do in a big, big hurry. If that had been on the mat, that was real trouble for Duncanson. Almost a souffle, which is a 4-point move in Greco-Roman. This guy, Andy Lentz, I'll tell you what, he harbors some Olympic dreams, I believe, because being ranked in the top 2 in the nation currently for his age group in Greco-Roman is quite an accomplishment. Okay, once again, Lentz looking for that upper body stuff. And it's just so explosive, Greco-Roman. He can come out of nowhere and hit a throw like that. Duncanson, like I said, more of a leg attacker, should probably initiate some attacks on the legs where Andy Lentz is going to be unfamiliar.
Jeff, he's looking kind of shy after that throw right there. Obviously, I would be shy too. Jeff's just kind of, he doesn't know quite what to do. He doesn't know what he's in for yet. He's still trying to figure him out.
Exactly. A lot of wrestling is confidence, and I think a throw like that does a lot to rattle you anyway. We'll see if Duncanson can recover, however, and take it to this guy from Mankato State. Like I said, Andy Lentz isn't the greatest collegiate wrestler because he's not familiar. Well, there he just proved me wrong. He shot for the legs. That's something I didn't think we'd see at all. But he was unable to score. Duncanson, good defense, and Duncanson in on the legs now. He may score here. And kind of a slam maneuver. Actually, what happened there was the ref had called time, and Duncanson just deposited Lentz on the mat. Lentz is real upset about that. Apparently hurt his shoulder. The crowd doesn't seem to mind too much, though, apparently, Jamie.
Oh, that was a shot. I think there was a little bit of a payback there.
Perhaps there was some. Now, actually, technically, that can't be called a slam because time had been called out. But Jeff less than politely dumped Andy to his face there after time was called out.
It's kind of interesting to note. I talked with Andy in the locker room. He said he is not a shooter. He said, I've never touched anybody's legs, and I never will. And that was kind of surprising there to see him go in and shoot on Jeff.
A lot of times the person who's not real good with the legs, if he can set it up by using a lot of upper body stuff, can surprise a guy enough that even a weak leg shot will work for him. And now he's in for a double underhook, and he almost scored there. But Duncanson now picking up a leg. They're in a Metzger situation now, and neither wrestler able to score there as the first period ends tied 0-0. You got to figure that's kind of a moral victory then for Duncanson, because Duncanson will be the better mat wrestler, I'm pretty sure. So actually having no takedowns is not going to affect him too much in that first period. But Andy Lentz with the choice, and he knows to nobody's surprise takes on his feet. He's, being a Greco-Roman wrestler, likes to wrestle from his feet.
Exactly.
Okay, he's got that front headlock again, trying to create enough pressure to make Duncanson forget about where he's going and sneak around behind. But Duncanson doing a real good job, just real hard-nosed in there, not letting him score, continuing to face him, but there.
Takedown.
Takedown for Lentz. Duncanson just couldn't hang on. He couldn't keep circling with him, and that's going to be 2 points for the Mankato State man. It'll be interesting to see whether Andy Lentz decides to ride or not. Being a Greco-Roman wrestler, a lot of the rides that you see in that style you're not going to see here in collegiate wrestling.
Jeff needs to get some aggressiveness in him. He's not too fired up. I don't know what he's, it's kind of interesting to know what he's thinking of right now.
Well, a lot of times, what's interesting and a lot of people don't think about it, Saturday afternoons are not a real common time for a dual meet. I think perhaps some of the wrestlers are having a tough time getting fired up. Usually, you know, you're going to have your dual meets at night, and, you know, that can throw your biological clock off enough that it's hard to get up for a match here in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, Lentz doing a good job riding right now. Duncanson having trouble getting his hips out, but he's up on his feet now. And Lentz brings him right back down. Lentz just showing excellent hip action. He's able to use his hips and get on, you'll see on their feet, he'll get his hips underneath Duncanson and lift with him. And that's just another, you know, byproduct of Greco-Roman wrestling right there. Continuing to ride now, and he's secured a 1 minute, over 1 minute, in fact, a riding time. So that's going to mean a point unless Duncanson can reverse that in the third period.
20 seconds left to go here in the second period. Jeff Duncanson on the bottom for Buena Vista. Andy Lantz on top, a freshman from Mankato.
Andy's working that bar arm series, which you see a lot of today. That's kind of the new thing in college wrestling. A lot of people working with that bar arm. And Duncanson having a tough time getting out here with only 2 seconds to go. That looks like that's the way it's going to end here, with Lentz up 2-0 as we head into the third period.
Jeff doing he's doing a fairly good job with what he's coming up against here.
Okay, so Jeff's kind of surprised me there. He had the choice, I believe, in the third period and took up. Apparently he thinks he's going to be able to take Lentz down, and I think to do that he's going to need to initiate an attack on the legs. In talking with Coach Baxter, he said that Duncanson was very good on his feet, very intense, but he does have difficulty escaping. I think we saw that. And now we got that double underhook, and that's going to be trouble for Duncanson, I think possibly. They went off the match. You heard Coach Baxter yelling, "Get out of there." I think Baxter's pretty much aware of Andy Lentz's throwing capabilities, and he doesn't like to see his freshman wrestler locking up with a guy like that.
Duncanson doing the smart thing by getting off the mat as soon as he could, because he knew he was in tight and he knew he was going to get thrown.
Okay, there's a throw then by Lentz. Actually, I think Duncanson initiated that, more of a counter maneuver, and that's going to be 2 points for the Mankato State man. That makes the score 4-0. In favor of Andy Lentz over Jeff Duncanson of Buena Vista College. Okay, once again, Lentz working on that arm, kind of an arm bar series again, and Duncanson having trouble getting away. In talking with Coach Baxter, he did say that if Duncanson should work on one thing, it would be his ability to escape from the bottom.
The guy is a hard worker. He's an excellent worker, and I foresee Jeff Duncanson in the
Okay, there he gets the escape to make it 4-1. A flurry of activity there, and he just managed to get the escape before it went out of bounds. Duncanson down 3 now. Normally you might say go for the throw down 3 with 49 seconds, but I'm not sure if he's going to want to do that. Okay, Duncanson, he's in good position here. He's keeping his head there, and there's that leg attack we were talking about. He may score 2. But Andy Lentz did what's kind of a crotch lift, actually, more of a Greco-Roman move. You're not going to score points with it here, but he did manage to get the action taken off the mat. Okay, Duncanson down here by 3. Needs to really get her going here. Andy Lentz just coming in, looking for the throw.
Clock's not moving.
Okay, we had a problem with the clock. That's going to work to our favor, I guess.
Yeah.
So we can't argue about that too much, I guess.
It was about 7 seconds of action going, and the clock had not ticked off 1 second yet.
Okay, so some technical difficulties.
37 seconds left to go here in the third match, or in the third period.
That's what's shown. Now they're going to take some time off the clock. That's a little bit surprising. You don't see, they take it down to 34 actually, so apparently they believe they lost 3 seconds there. And we're back set for live action here. Duncanson down 4-1 to Andy Lentz, the Greco-Roman specialist. Takes a slap at the legs there, and now he's got, okay, he's looking for what's called a chin throw, but Duncanson, okay, that, an interesting little flurry of activity. We saw Duncanson with a real tough bear hug, and Andy Lentz was actually looking for what's called a chin throw there. Neither wrestler able to secure a takedown or to secure control, but Duncanson came real close to beating the Lentz at his own game, I'd say. And once again, Duncanson going in for that throw.
You know, Jeff, he's just experiencing some bad luck here. Twice he's had, Lentz in the bear hug, and 2 times they've went off the mat. So.
I think Lentz was getting a little cocky upper body, and Duncanson showed him what he can do from that bear hug position. Came real close to getting a takedown. Okay, with 10 seconds to go, Duncanson working in. And Lynch just goes to his knees there, and that gives 2 points to Duncanson, making the score 5-3. I guess he was hoping that Duncanson was just going to ride him, but that's going to do it anyway with the score 5-3. Andy Lynch over Jeff Duncanson of Buena Vista College, making our team score now 18-7.
Be watching Innovation Video for Women's Iowa Conference basketball when the Lady Beavs take on the Lady Reds of Simpson. The matchup will be featuring one of Buena Vista's hottest hands, Kim Beckman, who has scored over 1,000 points and is yet to miss a free throw. You can catch it right here on Innovation Video Cable Channel 3 following NCTV.
All set to go at the 167-pound weight class, where Buena Vista features senior Brian Boss. He'll be going up against a freshman, but a two-time state runner-up from Mankato West High School in Minnesota. That's David Gruson, is it? He's a freshman with a 3-5 record, but as I said, a two-time state runner-up. So we'll see what Boss has to do here.
Brian Boss, 21, 10, and 3 on the year. He's got 3 falls credited to him.
Boss has been a varsity wrestler. This is actually his 3rd year of varsity competition. He placed 4th and 5th at the conference meet in the last 2 years. He's yet to qualify for nationals, and I know in talking to him, that's his real big goal for this year, is to go ahead and win that conference title and head to the national tournament.
Boss moving up a weight class this year. Last year, he was at 158.
Okay, Boss initiates what's called a fireman's carry, and then he changes over to a Kelle there. He's got that arm in tight. He's going to hug that in tight and see if he can't turn him with it. Boss is a real good with that fireman's carry. He likes to control the arms from the top, and almost kind of went to a Russian tie-up there, but now they've backed off and they're just in a tie-up. Boss not his best. He's not at his best, I don't believe, on his feet. He's good on his feet, but I think his better wrestling comes on the mat.
And I think that comes more from his flexibility. This guy is, I think he's double jointed, what Coach Baxter said.
That's
he's
exactly
very,
right.
very flexible.
Okay, but he's in tight now here on a single leg. Standing up with it, and then he dumps him for the 2 points. Excellent move, excellent finish on that single by Brian Boss, a senior. Okay, so that makes the score 2-0 with 1:22 to go here in the first period. Boss, as I said, an excellent rider. He's got those legs in. Trying to control the hips. That's the key to leg riding, of course, is controlling the hips, and he's unable to do it as the Mankato State man gets to his feet. Boss brings him back down, however. Trying to chop that arm. Keep control here. Okay, Gruson unable to escape here as Boss with a tough rider.
Brian, I think has really an excellent chance to be a conference champ this year, and hopefully an All-American.
Hopefully that is his, of course, ultimate goal this year, is to earn All-American status.
Brian, looking into the future a little bit, do you expect the Beavers to place higher than they did last year at Nationals?
I think they have the potential to place real high this year. I think that they've got a good group of athletes, and I think almost any of them can earn All-American status. My coach at Augustana College, Paul Kendall, used to tell us, if you can go to Nationals, that means you can place at Nationals, and I think that that's proven to be true. You see a lot of surprises at the national tournament, and anything can happen. If the guys get to going, and if you get on a roll, momentum is a big part of that national tournament, and if they get on a roll, you never know what the Beavers could do. I look for a top 5 finish out of Al Baxter's club. Of course, one of the big questions for the team this year is whether or not Todd Peters will be able to come back. He's a transfer from the University of Nebraska, usually wrestling in about the 158-pound spot. Excellent wrestler, of course, was a Division I wrestler last year, but he injured his knee, and no word yet as to whether or not he'll be able to wrestle in the conference tournament.
That's kind of interesting. When I was a freshman in high school, Todd wrestled at 98 pounds. I wrestled at 98 pounds, and I met Todd at sectionals. He wrestled me, and he beat me.
Needless to say, yeah, Todd is an excellent wrestler, and I'm sure Al Baxter hopes he can rehabilitate that knee to the point where he'll be able to go at the conference tournament. First period here now in the 167-pound weight class is over with Boss leading 2-0. Boss is an interesting wrestler from down. He likes to use kind of rolls, and he likes to just use position wrestling more or less to ascertain escapes. Okay, he's in a tripod position, trying to come up. Okay, he's got up and he breaks free. That'll make the score 3-0 as Boss secures his escape and goes right in for that takedown.
He likes to get it. He gets himself extended from underneath when shooting a takedown. That was evident right there.
Yeah, that almost got him in trouble, but then he goes and switches over to that Kelle and secures the takedown. You saw how he did get way out and extended. He got way out in front of his hips there, but Gruesome was unable to take advantage of that. And Boss stuck with it and got the takedown to make the score 5-0. We've got 1:14 to go here in the second period.
Brian admitted to me that he is sloppy on his feet, which he kind of is, but once he's in the down position, I think he makes up for it.
Okay, Boss looking for the turn now, kind of a tilt. He's using that ankle as well, and that can create a tremendous amount of pressure on the small of the wrestler's back, which can sometimes induce near fall points.
Boss up 5-0. We've got 45 seconds left to go here in the second period.
Okay, Boss, excellent rider. You'll see him controlling his opponent's hips, and that's the key, of course. And Gruesome unable to really initiate any type of escaping maneuver from down at this point. We've got 32 seconds to go in period 2 with Boss up 5-0. Okay, he gets to his feet and he tries to reach down and grab Boss's ankle. That's something you might see in junior high. I'm kind of surprised that a Mankato State University athlete would try something like that. But Boss shrugs that off, and with 10 seconds to go, brings him back to the mat. They go off the mat then. Boss controlling his man. He's getting real close to securing a riding time point as well.
11 seconds to go in the second period. Brian Boss leading 5-0.
As you mentioned, Boss is kind of what you might call he's uncharacteristic wrestler, but a lot of times you can use that to advantage, and I think he does. He does a lot of things differently than what most people see, and when he meets someone that hasn't wrestled him before, he uses that to his advantage. Boss trying to pull him back now and goes for the cradle. Boss is an excellent cradler. Almost got in trouble there, but the period ends. So we'll go to the third period with Boss leading Gruesome 5-0, Mankato State University. And I'm sure old Dave there thinks that this match has gone pretty gruesomely so far, without a doubt. He'll be down to start the third period, and apparently he thinks he's going to be able to get the escape point and then take it to Boss on their feet. Boss, as we mentioned, though, an excellent rider. Okay, he's got to that tripod position. He's going to try and bring his head up here eventually, but he's unable to do it as Boss brings him back to the mat here. Now he's up, but Boss with the hands locked there and brings him back down to the mat. Boss really controlling the match here at this point. Gruesome unable to really put Boss in any kind of trouble. And now Boss, you'll see him working for that cradle. He's got the cross-face cradle, and he's in a position to try what they call a suicide cradle. But he's going to take it the other way, and he may have back points here. Okay, he's in a little bit of trouble here, though. Gruesome fighting off his back real well. This is a real bad position for Brian Boss right now, but he manages to take it all the way over. You don't see that too often.
Brian Boss, interestingly, he imagines himself winning before he goes out onto every match. So that's how he kind of psychs himself up before he goes out on the mat. So he's probably gone through this match in his mind before it even started. So
that's right. A lot of wrestling, they say, is mental. In fact, I've had coaches tell me it's 90% mental, you know. And positive thinking is something that Al Baxter stresses. We've got 40 seconds to go here in period 3. Brian Boss did secure 2 near fall points with that cradle maneuver earlier to bring the score to 7-0. He'll also have a riding time point now, which would make the score 8-0 should the match end now, and that would be a 4-point victory, for Buena Vista, and that's pretty much going to lock up the dual meet. Okay, a nice throw there, but off the mat by Gruesome there. Boss got a little bit careless, but I think he knew he was going off the mat and didn't have to worry too much.
We're seeing a lot of nice throws by both teams, but unfortunately they all been off the mat and haven't been able to score.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the downfalls, I believe, of college wrestling, because if you look at the international styles, both freestyle and Greco-Roman, any throw initiated at any time will count for scores no matter where it ends up. And there's been a lot of talk, to internationalize the collegiate form of wrestling. Okay, Boss, once again getting a little bit careless here. We've only got 3 seconds to go. If he can stay off his back. Okay, and we'll be breaking to commercial now. Brian Boss, the victor, 8-0 over Gruesome.
You imagine it, we'll work with you to capture it.
The main reason I chose Buena Vista College was because I knew that its size allowed for students to get involved in extracurricular activities.
When I came to Buena Vista, I never imagined I could become so involved. I think that's what's made the biggest difference for me.
For me, that's what life at college is all about.
At Buena Vista, I've never had a dull moment.
There are no limits to what you can achieve at Buena Vista College when you imagine the possibilities.
Back to wrestling action. Buena Vista received a forfeit at both 170-pound weight class and the 190-pound weight class. Each of those is worth 6 points for the team. So the team title is pretty much wrapped up, and we're looking at the heavyweight action. Now, Chris Toff immediately in on a single leg here. As we mentioned before, he's wrestling kind of the stud there at Mankato State in Jason Match.
Big, strong, and talented.
Okay, so the team score now stands at 34-7, Buena Vista College, securing a victory over Division II Mankato State. And now these two wrestlers are just going to wrestle for pride out there.
Yeah, this is going to be a great match. We know that Math is an excellent wrestler. Chris Toft is really coming on strong in January and February. He's really improved.
That's right, he's real aggressive. And look at that, Chris going to try and bring the brick man down. Boom. Heard that one and felt it all the way up here. Chris Toff, a nice return to the mat.
Oh, Chris is so strong.
I saw the ref kind of hesitate there, thinking perhaps it was a slam, but no indication of that as Chris Toff takes the lead 2-0. He's really going after it today.
Chris gained so much weight from last year. He come in weighing 250 pounds. He's at 230 right now. You think he looks big now. You should have seen him at 250. So, you know, he's dropped a few pounds. For his benefit, Al Baxter told him that he needed to drop a few pounds, and he did.
I think that's increased his quickness, and that was evident right away here in the matches. He's kind of pulling off what I might consider an upset over the senior from Mankato State University. He's up now 2-0 with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first period. Chris Toff having trouble breaking his man down, but unless Jason initiates an escape attempt, that's fine with Chris. He's content there to sit up and rack up the riding time. Oh, and a nice roll there by Match. You see that a lot at the heavyweight weight class, and that's going to be a reversal to tie the score up at 2-2 with 1:30 to go here in the first period.
That's one of Chris's downfalls. He'll get careless.
He does tend to get careless. Caught. And he got caught there. He got a little lackadaisical, I think, and Match just hit him with you know, the roll right away there. Kind of surprised him a little bit.
I'm kind of surprised at Chris's aggressiveness in the beginning of the match. He's just come back from the flu, so I was kind of questioning his strength. But doesn't look like he has any problem now.
Okay, we'll have to see how that affects him in the third period, but a nice return to the mat there into a tilt. And he's got, by Matcher, he's got Toft on his back. That's going to be a 3-point near fall. Much like Colin Knight of Augustana, that return to the mat, it's a real popular move now with some of the nation's best wrestlers. They actually return the man to the mat in a near fall position, and unless you've seen it before, that can be real hard to defend against, and Chris got caught there. That brings the score to 5-2 now, and Match looking for more back points with that Turk. The ref indicating that he has not broken parallel, but now he begins to count. Chris in real trouble here.
Well, Jason Math is one of the favorites to win the NCAA Division II this year.
That's right. There's been talk that he might take down Pittsburgh Johnstown's Carlton Hasselrig, who is actually a Division I champion as well, and I have a feeling you might be seeing these two wrestlers in the Division II finals.
Chris in a lot of trouble here.
I don't think he's going to get pinned, but Math has secured the 3-point near fall, which would bring the score to 8-2. Now it looks like Chris might be in real big trouble here. We've got 15 seconds to go in period one. Chris managing to bridge up, but now he's off his neck now. The ref's taking a real close look here. Could be trouble.
Chris is in serious trouble.
And that's going to do it.
That's going to do it.
And the pin.
This is a telecast property of Innovation Video. Any reuse of this telecast without the expressed written consent of Innovation Video is strictly prohibited.
Okay, so that will bring the team score to 34-13.
You ignored it for a long, long time, and so the horror in your mind grew because you let your taxes just sit there. Why let it haunt you? File now, file accurately, and make your taxes less taxing.
There is a need in your own hometown. Please join your local chapter.
Carol,
Tom.
some people still don't realize how space technology benefits everyone.
Well, you've played a detective. Why don't you give him a clue and I'll be your helper?
Okay, partner, look at this.
Without warning, hurricanes can take a huge toll in lives and property.
But with space satellites, we now have ample warnings.
And thousands of lives have been saved.
Hey, Carol, we're a great team.
We're a great item.
Space technology.
This is what's in it for you.
Hello there, good Samaritans. I'm Captain Ivy, not to be confused with Poison Ivy. But anyway, before I put on this monkey suit and this Panama hat, I was a lonely mass comm student. I didn't know what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be. But then I got involved with Innovation Video. I started doing camera work and technical duties. I love Innovation Video, and you will also. So tune in and watch Innovation Video, because you will never know what comes up next. Well, I'm out of here. Adios. I think that's Spanish.
Okay, we're back live at Siebens Forehouse. Jamie, a real impressive performance by Al Baxter's Beavers today.
Oh, yeah. It happens all the time. Al continually brings his Beavers out here, and, they just continue to dominate.
I'll tell you what, the Buena Vista wrestling team is an incredible story. In fact, Baxter's first year here, he had to drag people out of the dorms to join the wrestling team. They finished 1-13 that year. The next year, they were conference champions. And it's just been a story of success since then. Looking over today's matches, as you know, Mankato State forfeited 118 to Buena Vista senior Dave Jordan. At 126, Kurt Chesmore was the victor over Paul Perez. At 134, Jeff Bakken, with an incredible Olympic headlock coming out of nowhere, secured the pin. At 142, Monty Andreessen was defeated by his Mankato State opponent. And at 150, Monty Mertz. What was the story with Monty Mertz? I don't have it here. Well, Monty Mertz apparently wrestled today. We know that much. And I think if I remember correctly, he did win. At 158, we saw the Greco-Roman specialist from Mankato State University, and he managed to defeat Jeff Duncanson. At 167 pounds, Brian Boss, the senior from Buena Vista College, was a winner today. And Mankato State forfeited both 177 and 190 to Buena Vista. And then at Chris Troft, Buena Vista's heavyweight, was pinned in the evening's final match. Once again, your final score, 34-13. Jamie, any last final comments as Beavers head to the conference tournament?
Well, I'm kind of excited to see the conference tournament, and I'm planning on going to the national tournament also. I'm anticipating total dominance in the conference tournament by Buena Vista.
That has been the story. That has been the story in years of late. Of course, Central is fielding a great team and actually defeated Buena Vista in the dual meet. Well, so they're going to be tough.
That was we were kind of down. We had quite a few injuries that meet, and they only beat us by 2 points. So I'm thinking no problem.
That's been one of the stories this year with the wrestling team. They've yet, in Al Baxter's mind anyway, to be full strength to the point where they have all of their best athletes on the mat at the same time. Hopefully that'll be the case at the conference tournament. I'd like to thank you for joining us this afternoon for our weekend sports extravaganza at Buena Vista College. The final score here, BV 34, Mankato State 13. Tune in at 5:55 for Buena Vista women's basketball when the Lady Beavers face the Lady Reds of Simpson. Until then, for Jamie Brawl, I'm Brian Gillette. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
A little more motion on it.
Check, 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 check. check, 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 check. Damn it, check.
We got the wrong mic. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
We're nothing if we're not professional. Did we screw up your frame?
Try to tell them to stop bouncing those balls for about 3 or 4 minutes.
I don't know. How bad are those balls in the background? Okay. Stand closer. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How was that? What is this, a drunk test? I can do this too. Stand by. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. No panic. There we go. Who am I looking for signals here? So what you're telling me is 10 seconds. Welcome back to Buena Vista College and Innovation Video's Weekend Sports Extravaganza. I'm Brian Gillette, and I have with me Coach Al Baxter, highly successful coach of the Buena Vista College wrestling team. Coach, I guess you can add another Division II notch to that revolver today as you piloted the Beavers to a 34-13 win over Mankato State University.
We were very happy to win, and the thing is, Mankato State came in here and had 3 forfeits. And for a school their size, and especially being in the North Central Conference, we didn't expect that. So there's 18 points for us, but they do have some good individuals. We had 2 or 3 matches that I didn't think it just seemed like today that we didn't look real quick or anything. We looked kind of sluggish. And, of course, this time of year I start getting a little bit picky come conference times. The conference tournament's going to be this Friday, and this time of year is when you want to look sharp and crisp and stuff. I'm going to give them tomorrow off, and then we're going to work very hard Monday and Tuesday, kind of taper off Wednesday and Thursday. We weigh in Thursday and then wrestle Friday. But as far as today, beating a team like Mankato State, really makes us happy. I think the score was 34 to
13,
34 to 13. So I got to be pleased with that. But like I say. There's 2 or 3 guys that I think were a little bit sluggish today, and we're going to try to work that out.
Okay, yeah, as I know, a lot of the guys might be just looking forward to that conference tournament. You wrestle a dual meet, which is outside of the conference, so it's, inevitably it's not going to mean as much. They might be looking ahead a little bit. Who do you look, as we approach the Iowa Conference tournament, who do you look for to be the teams to beat?
Well, Central has beaten us 17-16 in a dual meet, and they placed about 35 points ahead of us at the Cornell Invitational. Of course, the Cornell Invitational, we placed second out of, I think it was 14 or 15 teams, but we had 4 of our varsity men out of the lineup. And when they beat us here in a dual meet, we had a couple of varsity guys out of the lineup. However, they had 1 good varsity guy out, too. So, I mean, it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out, and Wartburg College, you can just about flip a coin between, Central, Wartburg and Buena Vista College right now. Luther College has 5 or 6 very good individuals. Simpson has 4 or 5 good ones. I'd say that this year William Penn and Dubuque University are the only schools in our conference that are really kind of down compared to what they have been. But it's going to be very exciting, and it's going to come down to which team wants it the most. And I'm just hoping, with my fingers crossed, that we can go from now until Thursday when we weigh in and when we wrestle, trying to keep away from injuries. You know, that just scares the coach to death right now to get through the whole year, and then maybe someone sprains an ankle or hurts a knee, sprains a knee or something like that. So we're just hoping for the best. This week we're going to kind of taper our practices down, start off real strong Monday and Tuesday, have real good hard workouts, probably 2-a-day workouts. We'll come over here for half an hour in the evening from 8 o'clock to 8:30, do some running, carry guys in your back, push-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups, that kind of stuff, and just give them that little sharp edge. And I think it gives them a little more confidence, too, going into that conference meet, that they're a little bit better shape than their opponent.
Any word on Todd Peters and whether or not he's going to be able to wrestle at the conference tournament?
Well, I talked with Todd yesterday, and he hasn't been able to practice, and because of his knee. He sprained it January 14th when we went out to New York in the NCAA Division III Challenge Duels. And we waited about a week or so after he had injured it to see if it was going to have to be operated on. They decided to scope it, go in and look around and see what was wrong. But the main thing is he strained the outside ligament, and it just hasn't come back the way we thought. I think he probably is going to need about 3 more weeks before he's really able to get out there and practice and stuff. So Brian Boss, 167-pounder, has been here for 4 years, and Brian is in good shape right now. And so we're going to go ahead and go with Brian Boss right now, and hopefully Todd will have at least 1 year, maybe 2 more years of eligibility. So he's going to try to get that knee in shape for the future.
Okay, well, we certainly wish you the best of luck at conference and then on to nationals, of course. This is in Ohio this year, I believe. Best of luck to you, Coach. Thanks for joining us here. And we'll be back with more of the weekend sports extravaganza at Buena Vista College.